Welcome back, watchers and listeners, to another episode. I think we're on 4 now, Garrett, of Talkin Chop. I'm your host, David Pokorny, here with my co-host, Garett Aimutis. As always, Garrett, what do you got for us today, man? What do you got?
I mean, wasn't a perfect day. It was pretty hot out today. Got a pretty much memorabilia here. I mean, that's going to be something I treasure for a super long time. Not to flex or anything, but we got a great episode ahead of us. So
Yeah, Garrett,
really
for
looking
those
forward to it.
audio listeners, what do you got back there?
Oh, it's nothing crazy. It's just a signed Mahomes jersey. It's not no biggie.
He literally he pulled up. He pulled up and
He
just
pulled
signed your
up.
jersey.
Gonna get it framed. It's coming tomorrow. So just wanted to throw it up there for the pod. So.
And guys, I am currently in Kansas, actually, finally, but my room is under renovations, so I'm in the bathroom. I got a picture of
We make
Arrowhead
do. We
and
make
a
do.
Hawaii shirt.
Is it the best of circumstances? No, but we're here. We're filming an episode, and we're gonna get it out there.
And don't worry, guys. This is missing. This is actually my signed Willie Gay framed jersey that is in my room set up normally. I will be taking it back with me. Um, is that a regrettable purchase? It wouldn't have been if
I
he
mean, hey,
it wouldn't have been if he re-signed, but
I'd say it looks pretty clean.
it's pretty
So
clean. Three-letter last name is a very good last name, I'd say.
that was an unfortunate loss in the offseason. I mean,
I thought so too, and they only paid him like $5 million. The Saints did.
uh,
I thought we could have afforded that.
Obviously, Willie Gay left us for New Orleans, and I was kind of shocked about that, considering the contract. I thought we could have pretty easily matched that, but I mean.
Yeah, honestly, we really could have. And guys, for that jump cut, you noticed, it's because Garrett's mic is trash and garbage, and it
It's
just
I
broke.
don't know. It's been with me a while. I'm not sure why it's trashing it now, but hey, we're
Don't
talking about
worry,
Willie Gay.
mine's not working either. So
Yeah, this dude yelled into it super loud, and it kind of busted. So we're
yeah,
figuring it out as we go. It's kind of a hodgepodge of mechanical errors. So
but yeah, episode 4. Once we get through episode 4, we're good. By the way, guys, me and Garrett, reason I was in Kansas City, besides my brother's graduation, who cares about that? Because Kelce Jam 2 was in Kansas City, big time, man. I was super excited
yeah,
about
went
that, right?
last year, had a blast. Decided, hey, it's back in town. We should head back and see if they made any improvements.
Yeah,
And
I got this shirt on, and this is the shirt I wore at Kelce Jam. $10 at TJ Maxx, best buy of my life. This is a Minecraft Travis Kelce shirt,
And
baby.
thanks everyone for voting on the Instagram for him to wear it because it got Kelsey's attention and got him to dap him up. So
Yeah,
I think it was
Kelce,
a win.
we sat in line for an hour and 30 minutes for some merch, which the merch is fire, by the way. I think it was pretty good. We
Yeah,
sat an hour and a half, and we just popped out of the line, and all of a sudden, Kelsey's just coming towards us, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?"
yeah. He
And
walked
then
around the event a couple times, just kind of doing his spiel. Just kissing babies and taking names, just doing his brand deals. And we waited an hour and a half for merch. One of those being the Kelsey Jam bucket hat, baby.
pretty fire. It's in the
Kelsey Jam bucket hat.
Space Jam logo theme.
However, I think the best thing of the night easily Uncrustables bucket hat, baby. They were only giving out 1,000 of these. We were unfortunate enough to miss out on that. I was pretty bummed, but the god of fate shone upon me, and it was on the top of a garbage can. Somebody threw it away, and I snatched it. I Is there shame in that? Maybe, but it's a dub for me. So
Absolutely. Well, Garrett, we have some gripes as well as some highs and some lows, I guess you could say. One of those lows being, Garrett, you only bought Bucket Hat because they didn't have your shirt
yeah,
size.
I want to just talk about that for a second. Kelsey, I know you will never see this. Maybe you will. Your brother is a premier, unfortunately he retired. Rest in peace, Jason, from the league. Uh, he is an NFL offensive lineman for many, many years. Maybe go more than a 2X on the shirts. I just find it a little bit weird that you only go up to 2X. I'm a bigger guy, so I was a little disappointed. One more X would have been nice. Just one more. I'm not going crazy like 5X. I'm not talking, like Godzilla sizes. Just a little bit. One more X. Just tap it in the button.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't got at least to bigger sizes for. I mean, Trey Smith couldn't, Creed Humphrey couldn't fit in the Kelce Jam
Yeah, I'm like,
merch.
you get your boys your merch, and they're just like, oh, it's a tight fit. I'll just wear it to workouts, I guess. You
So I
know.
guess that transitions well into who were the players that showed up. So Trey Smith got to go on stage and partake in the wing eating contest. We saw Karloftis and McDuffie. We should have got a picture with them honestly because you
Man,
have
they were just kind
you
of
have
walking
Uber
around.
One.
Yeah. Kelce had an entourage of basically men in black leading him through the crowds of people, and Karloftis and McDuffie just wandering around. I think it's just because people that really didn't recognize him. I mean, me and David obviously were like, "Oh my God, that's Karloftis McDuffie." Um,
Karloftis is such a recognizable face. I feel like too.
yeah,
Like
he's got
and
a really
McDuffie
even
too.
McDuffie. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a pretty unique face. Just to go back on the Trey Smith thing, they did the wing competition last year, did it this year again. Trey Smith is now a two-time Kelce Jam wing eating competition. I don't know how you get chosen, but they really need to just screen him out a little bit more. How do you get to a wing eating competition and you only eat 5 wings? I want to. I'm not. I'm not. Listen, they might be really hot. I don't care. 5 wings. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is, get me up there, baby.
They should
Get
have.
me up
Garrett
there.
was wearing the Rasheed Rice jersey. They should have put him on stage, and he should have been eating the wings.
Maybe that just disqualified me. I
Well,
guess.
we were just too far back. We didn't get the tickets, and honestly, I'm glad we didn't get the pit tickets. I know Jacob really wanted to, but like, quite frankly, the artists were great. They were better this year than last year, in my opinion. They just took so dang long to get on the stage that it like kind of killed the momentum
Yeah,
of the show.
Kelce, he was kind of starting the show. They had a couple like DJs go on just while the event was getting people rolling
And
in.
they were good.
Yeah, no, like before the whole main event started, DJ Dupe, she had a great set. EV, he had a pretty great set. But once Kelce joined, about an hour late, by the way, I should say. I mean, he's a busy guy. I get it. But once he kind of introduced the first official artist, then it kind of lost us. 2 Chainz, obviously, he performed pretty well. But we need to talk about
Diplo was mid.
Diplo was mid, but we need to talk about the guy emceeing the event, uh, Irie, which
That might be what killed the momentum, honestly, more than any of the late people coming out. He just he's quite frankly, for lack of a better word, he was really cringe. And he was really
yeah,
self absorbed, and it appeared like he thought he was some celebrity people cared about. And it really just fell flat. And this isn't just the opinions of me and Garrett. I
it
talked to a lot of the guys in the community, a lot of people who were at the event, and they said that was one of the reasons they were not a fan of this one.
yeah.
Was the MC was just so gosh darn
He
awful,
was
and
even
the
booed a couple times, which never happened last year.
yeah, the booing is yeah, he got booed a couple times,
Now
but it wasn't
to
always his
Irie's
fault.
benefit, maybe it was just a bad night. I mean, obviously he got up there for a reason. He was chosen by Kelce for some kind of standard, but I feel like he just sucked the energy out of the stadium anytime he kind of tried to just interject with some kind of weird statement. I feel like if he felt the audience was losing him a little, he just started like swearing more and being like, "Oh, like I'm crazy. I'm just screaming stuff," and then didn't really get the crowd on his side until Lil Wayne popped out, and then everyone went crazy. But I mean, that was to be expected.
Here's the thing. I think last year Kelsey was the MC, and I thought that was perfect. I thought that was awesome.
Now,
But I think what happened is I think the sponsors were mad that they didn't get their ads read properly because Kelsey was so drunk he read the stage directions last year, which was hilarious. But like maybe they said, "All right, Kelsey, you can't really do much for Kelsey Jam
maybe that's
now."
another reason we didn't really like Irie that much because he was really, really spouting those brand deals, like
Oh
while
my
trying to
god,
hype
dude.
people up. He's like, "You say Jim, I say Bean," and I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?"
Dude, they did like 30 minutes straight of ad reads. It was terrible. Like, if you're gonna do it, oh, you know what they should have done? In the hours that it took for Lil Wayne to come out, ad read. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
cared. It would have been better than watching Irie try to entertain the crowd for 45 minutes to an hour. I'd have rather had the Jim Beam ad read
yeah.
or the.
And Lil Wayne, awesome set by the way. I think it just made me laugh every time. Every single time he finished a song, he just goes, "Thank you."
That was hey,
Every
that
every
was
song.
cool.
It made me laugh. He had a great set. He was really, I would say, the only artist that kind of really got people moving. I mean, 2 Chainz obviously did, but that was after just the consistently boring sets that were
Ad
before.
block too. He had to play after the ad block. It was
Yeah,
45 minutes of ads, dude. And even the drone show was a little bit like in the middle, which I thought they should have waited on it to be towards
I
the
feel like
end.
I feel like it should have been at the end, but
And it in the drone show was like half ads, half things. I think if there's anything to be taken away from Kelce Jam, it's that it felt like sellout Kelce Jam this year, and it was way more ads than last year. And yeah, Matrane is realizing that Kelce low key loves his brand deals.
look, I mean, I don't blame him. He's getting near the end of his career, and these companies are coming to him. They're like, "Hey, you want to just make a quick million, dude? If I can make a quick million walking over to a Subway stand throwing out free cookies,
That was fire.
I'm
Dude,
gonna
AJ Green was there, but not the football
the fake,
player
yeah,
one, the
the fake
YouTuber
AJ
one.
Green, yeah,
Yeah, he gave you a cookie.
yeah, he threw me a
I
cookie.
made him give you a
Pretty
cookie. I
baller.
said, "Hey, give this
He
guy
saw
a
my
cookie.
size, and he's like, this guy definitely wants a cookie.
This
I
guy
said,
needs a cookie." But yeah, I mean, hey,
do we want to
Minecraft
talk
shirt
about?
is success. What are you
We want
saying?
to talk about just the stuff around the event, regardless of the music.
Yeah. Oh,
I
by
mean,
the way, my dog loved the free teddy bear that we got. My
oh
dog
yeah,
was tearing that
yeah. There
teddy
was
bear
like this
apart.
rigged basketball hoop shooter thing. Like it's just the range, like the hoop was just smaller. Like you could just tell. You had to have the perfect arc just to get it in. Uh, Other than that, I mean, there was some good food stands. There was free Wingstop, a couple
Free
like
7-Eleven.
yeah, free 7-Eleven, couple pop up shops here and there. But I mean,
Jack
otherwise,
Stack. Jack Stack. Jim Bean was there, and they actually had good drinks.
uh, back past that, the way end of the event, this was my favorite part, just because it was so late. Uh, as people were walking out, $5 pulled pork sandwiches. You really couldn't beat it. I mean, that made me a happy man. So
Yeah, that was good. A little send off too. I think that they should have had something that they handed out to the people who stayed to the end. I think that would be something good to add to next year. Overall, I mean, a little. It felt like 2 steps forward, 1 step back in terms of last year's. It just have different issues.
if you want to improve
They
it,
improved upon things that I didn't like last year, and then they took things I did like last year and went backwards. That's kind of how I feel about it, honestly.
yeah, I feel like a couple things that I really want them to fix. Make the lines for your merch go faster. I don't know if we went to the wrong merch stand, but they were really slow. Uh, Not sure why it took us an hour and a half just to get a hat and a shirt, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And we were there, like it wasn't even a super long line. Like
Yeah,
it
no, that
just
line
went
was not long
really
at all.
slow. Uh, Maybe a different MC. Sorry, Irie was not a fan. And I think mix up the genre of artists a little bit. It kind of got pretty stale just because it was DJ, R&B, DJ, Lil Wayne. Like
Yeah,
there was just no variety, and like they tried to like the DJs tried to like throw in different types of music, but it's not the same.
yeah. So, I mean, hey, I think Kelsey should just be the MC. To be honest, I think
Let
we're just
let Kelsey cook is all I'm saying. I
yeah,
mean, it's just they kind of like they leashed him, and he was really only on stage for like 15 minutes, maybe. Like he got introduced by Irie, did his spiel, and then like left. Like he was just not there. And I go
yeah.
there for Kelsey, not for Irie.
That's what I'm saying too. It's like it's Kelsey Jam, and it felt like there wasn't much Kelsey in the jam.
Yeah, it was just a jam, and the
Oh yeah,
jam was kind of
Mahomes
mid.
also showed up. I literally named 3 other players that weren't Mahomes.
Yeah, he just, but I mean, he was like a like a, oh hello, and then he left. Like it
Yeah,
was, he just popped up, like an ad and just left.
yeah, facts. But he
But
was
hey, thanks for this today, Mahomes. Appreciate it. So I didn't see a Kelsey Jam, but thanks for the jersey, I guess.
hell yeah. All right, let's move on to our next topic we got going on here. Guys, we have a new guest slash member of the team here. We have a stats guy. His name is Jackson Roane, Jackson Steele Roane. And he's going to be helping us out because, guys, Garrett just gets the stats wrong all the time, and we
I
need
know.
someone to hold him accountable.
My brain is just mush. It just go. Ooh. Ooh, numbers. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we come up with stuff on the show on the fly. Actually, that's a majority of the show. And we need a guy to help us stats. So, Jackson, do you want to introduce yourself as we go into a more stats oriented segment?
Yeah, what's up, jabronis?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, sir. Perfect introduction.
It's like the voice of God. It's just like,
yeah, it's like, that what you just said was wrong.
You're wrong.
It's ironic because he has the best mic of the three of us too.
This is true.
We need to upgrade.
Yeah, we're gonna go straight into it. There's some free agents still available. I know it's right at the back end of the offseason. We're getting into OTAs and about to start summer practices, but there's still a couple guys out there that we don't want, are a little iffy on. So I think,
and there's just names that I can't believe still play football.
Yeah, that, and they were just like, why are they really available? Like, why are they still here? But I guess let's just start off. Who do we want?
Dude, Michael Thomas is someone who I'm like iffy on, I kind of want, but I'm iffy on. Sorry, I was about to hype it up like I'd really want him, but it's like the more I think about it, I'm so 50-50. I think while Rashee Rice is probably likely to get suspended, slant boy Michael Thomas can do what Rashee Rice can do until Rashee Rice is gone.
That's true. It's just, he's been gone out of football for
4
long.
years.
For 4 years. It's like, would that just be a move to bring a veteran presence in the room? But like, do you want a veteran that is essentially been like retired for the past 4 years? It's like, does he really even still want to play? Is that why he hasn't signed?
I'm taking Jackson's job for him, but I found the stat. It's 20 games in the last 4 years he's played, which is really bad.
That's really just one full season in playoffs in the last 4 years.
He had 17,000, 18,000 yards in the last season. He was playing fully healthy, so.
Oh, I think you mean 1,700.
Yes.
If he had 17,000 yards, that would be just the best receiver season of all time.
That's a good catch, Garrett. But he did almost have one of the best receiver seasons of all time.
I feel like you would be so rusty after being away for so long, and the injuries he's had, and I'll put injuries in quotes, I feel like you just see guys recover from those a lot faster, and I'm not sure that he was rushing to be on the field.
1 year, $3 million. That's all I want. If he does a 1 year, $3 million with some incentive bonus, like take it or leave it. No one wants you right now. Come join the Chiefs. Maybe get a ring. I want new faces in the room, and Hollywood looks amazing. But yeah,
I think Michael Thomas just has a very specific skill set, and if that seems attractive to the Chiefs front office, I could see us, throwing a bone at him, but not for anything more.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, the Saints fan account that I talk to sometimes, Who Dat Nation, shout out. He really wants Michael Thomas to go to the Chiefs for some reason. So you know what? I'm just gonna ride it for him, because he might be onto something,
Another guy that I'm kind of still surprised is on the table is Stephon Gilmore.
Come on, man, that's my guy. But yeah, you go on.
Hey, if you want to start rambling, I'm not going to stop you. He's your guy. I just wanted to throw the introduction out there.
No, dude. I think people. Well, we could talk about Xavier Howard versus Stephon Gilmore. That's like the big key here. Like people.
Here's the easy way to say that. Xavier Howard washed. Stephon Gilmore can still play.
Somehow, just because his age is like 2 to 3 years older than him, does not mean he's not bad anymore. He's the pinnacle of consistency. I did a free agent post the other day, and I did not know Stephon Gilmore had that great of a season last year. 13 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and they lost Quandre Diggs. What the heck is his name? They lost Trayvon Diggs. The Cowboys secondary needed him to step up, and he did. And with the loss of Snead,
if you did find Stephon Gilmore with those kind of stats, he wouldn't even need to be in that prominent CB1 role, because we already have McDuffie for that. And I feel like our cornerback room, even though it's super young, still has some pretty dominant guys at the line. And Stephon Gilmore could just kind of be he could be a slot guy. He wouldn't have to play a ton of snaps.
He could also just be a veteran presence that could train up some of these guys. And I think he'd be just a great guy to have in the room. And he's not too far removed from his Defensive Player of the Year season. He's really good still. I would love to have Stephon Gilmore. And I think he's not going to cost that much, and I think he'd want to play here in KC. So
now I still think that.
Another stat you guys are overlooking: the last 2 seasons of Stephon Gilmore's playing career, he's had the most total tackles of his career. The last 2 seasons.
So he's only getting better.
Now, is that more meaning he's in the right place, right time, or is that guys are catching on him and he's getting tackles? So I'm not sure. I haven't watched the tape, but you can probably go either way on that.
Well, he played for the Panthers in one of the last 2 seasons, so I'm
That's
sure he had
also
to
fair.
carry them. He had
Probably
to
had
carry
to.
the heck out of them.
He probably had a couple guys get beat on coverage, and he was the first guy on the scene. Um, Other than Gilmore, I mean, I really think with the new rules for kickoff, I'm surprised Jamal Agnew is still out there. Phenomenal kick returner, really good elusiveness. Maybe he's just looking for a little bit too much in terms of monetary value, but I'm surprised he's still there. It's with the new kickoff rules. I think it's going to excel. I think we're going to see a lot more explosive kick returns this year. I think some other people disagree, but
They're
I
wrong.
they're very wrong. XFL kickoffs have
Are
been
so hype.
they're hype. They're fun to watch, and with the amount of explosiveness and athleticism in the league compared to XFL, we are going to see so many kick returns this year because teams have only had maybe half. We're going to see people losing coverage. They're not going to do their right job during their play or during their defensive scheme, and we're going to see gaps open up. I predict this year might have the most kick return touchdowns in NFL history.
And I think it's going to be just a better all around time for everybody watching as viewers. Because, like, dude, it is just, especially in college football, it is just fair catch city.
I mean,
like,
it promotes returns. Like that's
yes,
and it's safer.
Well, and what's cool about this too, I don't think we need Jamal Agnew. Like that we don't have a kick returner on the roster, which has been a problem in the past seasons, then maybe that's where we go and we have to bring in Agnew. That'll be super telling if we do bring him on.
And not even counting Reese Amit's athleticism, he is a truck. The dude has legs that are just carpets. I mean, there was this video I saw, and it was just it was one of the Chiefs OTAs, and at the way end of the clip, you just see Reese Amit catch a pass on the outside and go up, and the dude's thighs are just thicker than steel rods.
Contact balance. Like he's gonna have better contact balance than so many of these like NFL players who just like, or I'd more say college football players,
And he's
like
going to want to
rookies.
engage hits. He is not going to be afraid of some guy trying to like. I mean, obviously they can't hip drop tackle anymore. Where that's a whole nother can of worms that is just
Not a
going to
fun
make
one.
the game better. But he's going to engage contact. He's going to really put the shoulder down and try and run through guys. And I think he's going to do it pretty consistently.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we just started talking about Luis Rizaman out of nowhere in the free agency segment because I'm so excited to see league. It's like, no, this dude grew up, loved football more, thought, well, I can't play it at a high level in wherever he like I think he's in England or Welsh. He played for the Welsh national team, so Wales. It's the same Great Britain. But he's over in Great
Somewhere
Britain.
overseas.
He's over in Great Britain. He thought the best route to the NFL was to literally play rugby and be the best at it. He was one of the youngest rugby players to ever make a national team. So like bro is pretty good at sports. I think he's going to be a-okay. If not, I think he makes the team.
Yeah, there's a ton of nuances when it comes to football, especially playing running back. I think a big thing that's going to be huge for him to see if he succeeds or fails is ball security, which, I mean, you'd think, oh, well, with rugby, they're taking a lot bigger hits. Just the way to secure a football at the NFL level is drastically different than they do in rugby because they play rugby pretty loose. I mean, it's a lot of laterals, it's a lot of tucking and running, and I just think he might be able to excel at that.
That's what he's got to focus on for sure. All right, let's move on. David Bakhtiari is a cool guy, I think, to have. We
I
don't
mean, he's
we
also
could do this. We could do David Bakhtiari versus Donovan Smith in terms of, do we need a veteran left tackle to come into this room? We have a second round pick and we have a third round pick. We have Wanya Morris from last year and we have Kingsley this year. Like, do we need a veteran left tackle to come in?
I mean, if the Chiefs decide so, I'd rather them go Bakhtiari. I know he's also kind of in the same realm as Thomas, where he hasn't really played a lot of football as of late. I just think that Donovan Smith, I know he locked it in the playoffs. When he got to closer to our main goal, helped us win a Super Bowl. I'll forever be grateful. I just don't think that he is the fit for us at that spot if we need a veteran tackle. I like Bakhtiari's upside a lot more in that kind of regard.
I also like what he can teach Kingsley too. Like, you have to think, like, some of these veterans are going to come in on cheaper deals at the end of their career, and they're coming in to teach the next generation. Like, they don't have an obligation to do so, but I think Bakhtiari is the type of player who would want to do so.
Yeah.
Although
I
he
also
did.
just don't want Donovan Smith.
I'm
sorry, Don, but we had our run. You got your ring, and I hope he gets signed soon, like you said. So the Chiefs don't feel tempted to bring him back. But
yeah, I mean, listen, injuries happen, and he's definitely dealt through a lot of injuries, but there's definitely like a concern I felt when Donovan Smith was.
This is a totally random. I don't know why I just thought of this, but in terms of O-line injury, just a little fun thing. I was really excited. This is like 4 years ago now, when Kelce Jam joined the Chiefs, and then he tore both his ACLs in one play.
Dude, he's also super cool too. He will comment and reply to like my comments and stuff. He is awesome. I love.
He was a great football player, and then he literally just obliterated his legs on the same play, and we never saw him again.
Yeah, that's tough.
I was really sad because I was really excited about him.
What a great callback, Kelce Jam, man. Jets and Raiders legend too.
Speaking of the Jets, don't want Jamal Adams.
Perfect segue.
Do not want him. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's a pretty veteran safety. Don't need him, and he'd be too expensive. And
he also is in the same range. These players have a lot of things in common, and that's they don't play football.
Yeah, I just don't think Jamal, even really prime Jamal Adams, was he ever really like that crazy good? I don't think so.
I mean, also safety market is completely tanked this year. Like, there are so many good safeties that are free agents, and they're old safeties, young safeties. Quandre Diggs, Micah Hyde, Justin Simmons, like Eddie Jackson, like, and then all the safeties that got signed to record low deals. It feels like, in terms of the market.
I just feel like the way defense is taught now, I feel like safety has become a position of really non-value. Especially with them just kind of playing deep most of the time. They don't really need to like come down in coverage or walk down and, kind of play like intermittent safety linebacker. It's just kind of
unless you play in Spags.
Yeah. Unless you play in Spags, which I mean that's what we have Jay Nix for.
Dude, I'm so hyped for Jane Hicks. Dude, he might turn into a corner for all I know. I have a feeling that he might turn into a corner just because like
think so.
That's what happens.
I know it's the Snead thing, but I mean I don't think we have a need at corner. I think safety is where we really.
But Brian Cook is so good too. I like Brian Cook. I mean, we do run 3 safeties, but Shamari Connor was so good, and we still have Justin Reed. I don't know.
Shamari Connor also played a little bit of corner, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he played slot. I mean, he probably could slide back to slot. I think really what we are just convincingly saying right now is that we play positionless football on defense, and I think that's amazing.
If you play corner, you're going to play a little bit of safety. You're going to play a little bit of outside walk down linebacker at some point.
And if you're safety, you're going to play linebacker. If you're a D end, you're going to go into coverage like George Karlaftis. if you're a D tackle, you'll be D end.
Max, I beg you, do not drop a D end into coverage again.
Remember when George Karlaftis was in man coverage?
Dunlap in man coverage. I mean, what was the man thinking?
He was thinking.
If you there have been a few times where I've legitimately screamed at my television, and that was when it was a close game, and I saw Carlos Dunlap's big body drop back into coverage. I was not ecstatic about
I
that.
think Colin Saunders got to play some coverage too.
Yeah, just the fattest man alive. Just
he got to play a zone.
Let's have him cover like Jalen Waddle. Let's just see what happens.
All right, and now let's go through some. Oh, I guess we didn't talk. Well, we talked about Xavier Howard enough. I just think he's washed, quite frankly, and his stats were really bad, and his PFF is really bad. And the fact that
he's essentially retired.
And the fact that he came out and said, "I will take a vet min to sign with a team," and he still hasn't signed with a team that's a contender.
Kind of telling.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I mean, dude, I like our young corners. I'd rather have Najee Johnson start over him, and I trust Josh Williams. I trust Mr. Watson as well.
Do we just want to quick blow through some surprising names that we saw,
or just some funny names? Just yeah. These are some guys that are still available. Like, we'll just switch off, Garrett, if you want to go with the first one.
Yeah, my most hated man of all time, Eli Apple. I hope he never gets a job in the league again, and I don't see how he keeps getting them.
Jackson, what were Eli Apple's stats last year?
Just abysmal.
Let me double check that.
He's just not good, and he talks so much garbage and never backs it up. I remember when he was on the Bengals and they beat us, and it was because Jamar Chase had like one of the best receiving games of all time, and Eli Apple's like, "Yeah, man, I can't believe, like, yeah, you guys are awful," and I'm like, "Dude, we literally torched you all game," and he's just, I hate Eli Apple. Eli Apple hater fan club. I'm him. I'm the owner.
Well, and part of it too is like he was a first round pick. He was a bust
by the Giants. There's a YouTuber I watch, Bengal. He is one of the funniest videos of him reacting to the Giants drafting Eli Apple.
Wait, he liked the pick?
No.
Oh, he didn't like the pick.
Exorbitantly hateful towards that pick.
That's hilarious because I do like Bengals draft analysis. So I guess he analyzed well.
Well, he also wanted Javon Hargrave. So I mean.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
Javon Hargrave ended up being good for like some seasons. Like it took him a while.
But
he's a better player, I think.
Last season with the Dolphins, Eli Apple had 46 total tackles, a single interception, 9 pass deflections, 1.5 safeties, and 0.5 of a sack.
What was his QB? What was the quarterback?
That's not bad.
I mean, it's not.
That's not bad, actually. We might be hating a little too hard.
It's not. He's not worth it.
Well, I don't want him. There's no way I want him. He will not come on this team. There's no way he would even agree to contract here.
Next guy, a guy that we're familiar with.
Kareem Hunt?
No, Marcus Peters, dude. I mean, look, both. Kareem Hunt is a free agent that's available. Anyway, Marcus Peters. We're not going to go into that one. But I'm alone somehow. What just happened?
All by myself.
Bro, I mentioned Kareem Hunt and I got thrown into like a dungeon or something. You're just like, no.
I hit like the 3 swipe on the Mac to go back to the next slide, and I just knocked myself out of this live stream. But hey, it's still recording, so we're good.
It is. We're still good. But yeah, Marcus Peters, Chiefs legend.
He was good on the Chiefs,
man. Really
man.
Good.
He's just at the end of his career.
Well, I mean, he's at the end of his career, and when he left, it wasn't really on good terms. I don't see him coming back. Maybe as like a 1-year sign a deal or whatever, but I don't really see him coming back.
I mean, he's only 31 years young.
Oh, that's too old. Although Stephon Gilmore's 33 years old is basically a spry chicken at 22. Like, Stephon Gilmore's got at least 2 more years. But what was I gonna say?
Yeah, Marcus Peters is an old head.
There's no way. Also, I don't even need a corner, man. We don't need a corner. We could get a corner if it's Gilmore. Yay. If it's anyone else, We don't need anybody. We don't need any free agents at all.
I mean, honestly, I know we talked about guys that we might want, but those are just more like luxury picks, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really need anybody.
They're if they want to be on our team, we'll hear them out. That's kind of what it's become. with free agency.
If you want a ring and you want to ride it, like God,
Terrell Suggs. I loved that one. That was a great signing.
Who was that running back that we signed? That was
LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy's like, man, I just got carried.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. Who's
was
another
that Ronald
guy?
Jones who said that?
Oh no, it was Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
We have
man,
3 of them. Anyway.
I gotta, yeah. But
oh my gosh, that was so good. And then Dunlap contributed. I think Dunlap actually did a lot, and Dunlap was underrated. So he came on and he did some great stuff. I mean, we've had,
we still have Dunlap on roster, don't we?
No, we don't. He's gone. Carlos Dunlap?
Yeah.
He's long gone, Garrett.
Man, I'm tripping. I totally thought he was still on, but
fair enough.
We have so many DNs that are exact. It's just tall, long arms, deflects passes somehow at the line. Just happened.
Melvin Ingram's available, and he went to the Dolphins. But yeah, dude. I mean, so many of our players went to the Dolphins.
I mean, we got a couple more guys that we could talk about. I know you're really excited about this next segment, so we'll probably make it real quick. Richie James, we don't need to bring back.
No.
Doesn't really fit the room anymore.
You don't even need to talk. He's done.
He's done. I don't see him signing anywhere, but good luck to you, Richie.
We kind of hoed it. We kind of hoed him, not going to lie, because I don't think he got a chance to even show that he could play football. And we just didn't use him, and I think we should have because we had some wide receiver issues. I mean, obviously it worked, and we won the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's just.
Next segment. I mean, I think you might want to introduce this one. You've been pretty excited to talk about this all day, so.
I mean, listen, the Bills wide receiver room is looking a lot like the Chiefs wide receiver room from last year, and I think it might be worse.
I'd argue it's worse. It's some of the worst names maybe I've ever seen on a roster. I feel like they're just kind of bringing in anybody and saying, this is a huge competition, and we're going to see who can play. So
here's what I'll say. I want to hear your thoughts. Well, I guess at the end of this we can do it, but I want to hear who you think the best wide receiver in that room is, because I think my take is going to be interesting. But let's go through the list. They got Khalil Shakir, they got Keon Coleman, they got Curtis Samuel, they have Chiefs legend Marquez Valdez-Scantling,
the GOAT.
They have Chase Claypool, they have Mac Hollins, who I kind of like, but it's just like that's just another guy that's not going to play now because they have so many names. Justin Shorter, they drafted out of Florida. KJ Hamler, I didn't even know they had that. Thanks, stats guy Jackson.
Quarterback legend.
Andy Isabella, and then I mean the rest of the guys like.
Yeah, I mean it's a hodgepodge of.
They have KJ Hamler, dude. He was a 3rd round pick, and the Broncos he got injured like 3 years in a row.
Yeah. But
another TCU guy.
I think the one name that really just kind of pools it all together of what this wide receiver room looks like is Chase Claypool.
That's their Kadarius Toney.
That's their Kadarius Toney. When I look at the roster and I see that's who they brought together to give Josh Allen weapons, it's almost disrespectful. If I was Josh Allen, I would feel hurt looking at that as my room.
Now, they still have Dalton Kincaid, but, I mean, I actually really like Kincaid, but he's no Kelce. Like, there's no...
Do you want me to say who my, top, who their wide receiver one is first? Or,
who you think it is? Like, I want to see who your best is, because at this point, it's just a crapshoot guess at who the depth chart order is.
If I could guess their top 3, I think Coleman, probably either wide receiver 1 or 2. I'm leaning towards 2 just because he's unproven. I think then it probably goes MVS and Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
Which, that is a really rough receiving room.
I think my favorite receiver in that room, and someone who I'm going to be targeting in fantasy a lot, I think Khalil Shakir is him. I think he stepped up when Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs were being absolute terribly bad. And he kind of fits that Bills slot receiver role where they just feed their slot receiver so much. Remember Isaiah McKenzie was just getting a bunch of stuff, and then they
Yeah.
just started using Khalil Shakir. I think he might be the best.
You know, I think the dark horse to somehow make that final wide receiver roster, Andy Isabella.
Not.
I think that's a dark
He's a
horse.
second round pick too. They just assembled the bust team. These are all players that busted.
This is
And-
true. I mean, I wouldn't consider MVS like a bust.
No, he's a UDFA. He can't be a bust. But
He
like
can't be-
besides
it's
that,
impossible.
like
Chase Claypool is 100% a bust. Like
which is sad because he
1,000,000%.
almost had he almost had an 1,000-yard season. Jackson, do you mind checking Chase Claypool's like best season? Like yes, TikTok boy, he
Yeah,
texted.
it was really close. But yeah, that receiving room, I put a question mark in our little notes next to wide receiver because I don't think that this might be Josh Allen's worst year. If I'm
And
being honest.
here's the thing. I am low on Keon Coleman, and so is Upper Hand Fantasy, our boss Faraz. He is super low on Keon Coleman, and it's not because he ran a 4.6 at the combine. It's because he can't get separation. He is a jump ball wide receiver only, and quite frankly, the corners in the NFL are really good at tracking the ball and really good at getting their head around it, really physical, and they're honestly more physical than you. So you can be dunking on kids who have to go to their 8 a.m. the next morning in college, but in the NFL, I don't know if it'll work. Now, I think Keon Coleman has one of the best personalities in this draft class, so I really don't want him to be a bust, but quite frankly, just like I think he will be.
Yeah.
So Chase
I mean-
Claypool's best year he had was his rookie year. He had 873 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Jeez, okay, that's really good.
Nine
Like, if-
touchdowns as a rookie, especially with almost 1,000 yards, is good. What was his next season after that?
He had 800 yards though, Garrett. Like if Worthy does that year one, I think that exceeds expectations for him, and he's a first round pick.
He followed it the next year with 860 yards, but only 2 touchdowns.
Okay, so he was on trajectory to be okay at football. What
And
happened?
was he on? He was on the back half of Puppet Roethlisberger, right? Like
Yeah.
he was. That was the guy being held up by strings to play quarterback. for
Well, and
the
they
last
had
bit.
Juju, and did they still have a B? I know one year it was
I think they might have played AB. I think his rookie year he might have had AB.
maybe.
I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he had 1 year or 2 with AB.
But even still, like 800 yards as.
'Cause I feel like I remember a stat of him like dropping off super hard after AB left. But
Well, that's Juju. Juju
yeah,
dropped
No.
off.
dropped off really hard.
AB left Pittsburgh after the 2018 season.
Okay, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
no
So
And
we're
chase.
way
Claypool
off.
came in at the 2020 season.
See, this is why we got the man upstairs. You know,
The stats.
our
We
ball
have-
knowledge is just lacking today, I guess.
Dude, that's crazy that Chase Claypool had that good of a rookie year. I knew he had a great rookie year. Dude, he was getting so overhyped. But I with good reason. You know what he is? He's Mecole Hardman. Chase Claypool's Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman had a really, really good rookie year. I think it was like 700 yards and like 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Jackson,
but then
maybe fact
all
check
of
me
them-
on that because that's probably wrong. But Mecole Hardman fell off. Mecole Hardman's best season was his rookie year, even though he caught the game-winning Super
Yeah,
Bowl
one of the
touchdown.
questions in the Discord was, "Do we think we're going to bring McCole Hardman back?" And that is a flat hard no. He does not have a spot anymore. His speed is.
Like that's the thing I want to get across to people. Justin Watson is a deep threat. Mecole Hardman is not a deep threat. He
Yeah, no.
sometimes makes a good catch deep, but he does not scare corners. He does not scare
If a corner's on his hip, he's not catching the ball.
Yeah. So
The
And
last-
it's
Oh, go ahead.
no, you're good.
no, I want to hear what
The
Jack says.
last 3 years, Mecole Hardman's longest receiving yard was less than 40 yards.
So
Yeah, so not a deep ball, not a deep threat. In the namesake, but Bills wide receiver room. I'm sorry if you're a Bills fan. That's pretty much the best way to wrap that up.
now, granted, I do think getting rid of Diggs was a benefit to them. Like I think something's wrong with Diggs. He started looking really bad towards the back half, and I think they got a good value out of him for him being that old. I just think they should.
I don't think he and Allen mixed well. I think there might have been like a schism at some point on what Allen thought of Diggs or what Diggs thought of Allen. I just think he wanted out of Buffalo.
I think that they're going to regret not drafting Adonai Mitchell. That's what I think.
Think so?
Yeah. Or who else came? Didn't Jalen Polk even went after them? I don't know if Jalen Polk's going to be better than.
Oh, well, they
Keon
traded
Coleman.
out of it, but they totally could have taken my favorite guy, Ricky Pearsall, and totally been fine. But
They could have taken Xavier Worthy, Xavier Leggett. They had their pick of the litter and they chose to trade back. I feel like they drafted based on hype, and I don't know. We'll see how it works out for Buffalo. Do we play them this year? Because that works perfectly into our next segment of our schedule predictions for this year.
Yeah, schedule changes came out across the league, and I was talking to David about this earlier. If you're a Chiefs fan, you know this. Our first 5 games the past couple of years have kind of been a gauntlet. We've had some pretty rough start to the seasons. I think, besides our first 2 games, I think this is going to be our weakest start to the year we've had in a long time, and I'm pretty excited about it.
So week 1, we got Baltimore. I think we are going to continue in Andy Reid fashion. We're going to come out. We're going to win week 1. Although, guess last year we didn't do that. But
I just think Baltimore's gotten worse. And that's not saying that they're going to, have a horrible season. I just don't think they're going to start hot. I don't think they do it often. I think we start off 1-0.
yeah, I think we get that win. Week 2 at home with Cincinnati. I'm so glad both of these games are home games. I actually think we take care of business in Cincy as well, or with Cincy as well. But Garrett, do you think this is a trap game? Because we don't have to agree on this.
It's just Cincinnati. They kind of had a little bit of a rocky road last year. I just think they might get us again. I have a starting 1-1, but I mean, obviously, I'm optimistic. I think we could possibly pull out a win. I just think they come in and I think we just have a little bit of a falter after winning week 1.
I get that, and I mean, it's. I think that with Cincinnati, there's just so much. I feel like they want to win more than we want to win at this point. The way that they've been toiling this offseason. It'll really depend on how healthy Joe Burrow is for this week 2 matchup. Week 3 against Bijan
we're blowing
Robinson.
them out.
No,
the Falcons are one of the worst teams in the league.
You're sleeping. I think the Falcons will be great, or not great. They'll be.
No.
They'll win the NFC South. I think we get the NFC South.
Oh, they'll
this
win
year.
the NFC South. Oh God, what a harrowing feat.
I mean, dude, they only got better, except when they drafted Penix. That was really weird, but
we're taking care of business in Atlanta.
All right, I think we'll win in Atlanta. Chargers week 4, I think might be our first loss for once. Away.
Well, I had our first loss in Cincy, and I think we're taking care of business in LA. But
Fair enough. I think, in my opinion, Jim Harbaugh is going to play a different brand of football, and it's a brand of football that we might not be ready, and that's just they're going to run the ball a lot, and we're going to be ready to we're going to be ready to stop the air raid offense of Vlad McConkey and Justin Herbert. But I think
regardless of teams chosen, we both have us starting out 3-1. So I think
by week 4.
Week 4. And then obviously going back home to KC against New Orleans, I think we take care of business there, and I think we start 4-1.
Now, here's the thing. I hate that we have an early bye week. I think that is going to hurt us a lot because after the bye week, it is not fun to play football.
It is going to be a grind for a very long time. But I am thankful that our bye week is right before San Francisco. We're going to head in to SoCal, and we are going to definitely take a dub.
I have a problem with the fact that the Cincy game and the Niners game are not primetime and are not even 12 o'clock games. They're 3 o'clock games. Like, why is that?
Blows. What are the? I mean, obviously, Chiefs can't be primetime every single week. I get it, but those are 2 premier games that everyone's going to be watching.
Okay, that doesn't matter. We can move on.
Andy
But
Reid's
Jackson
bye
can
week,
find that out.
Stats are just absolutely absurd, including Super Bowls. But then we head into Las Vegas. I think we lose one of our games to Las Vegas, and I think it's going to be the one in Arrowhead West.
Really? I could see that too. I don't know if we'd in my prediction going. Oh, actually, we lost to Chargers week 4, so I could definitely see that we. Sorry, I just
Now that would be our first 2 divisional games as losses, but I just think after a bye week, preparing super long for San Francisco, I just think that we're going to kind of try and look ahead of Las Vegas, and they're going to pull one out of us.
So coming off the bye, Andy Reid is 28-3.
Wow,
That's
Gary,
just absurd, dude.
That's
It's
insane.
unbelievable, man. That
Okay.
that should not be real. That just makes no sense.
I think Vegas low key has a good team this year, and I really like their coach, and I think Gardner Minshew can definitely do some damage.
I
And
think they'll
so
be second in the AFC West under us. I think
over Chargers, I mean, I don't know. I think the Chargers are fine. I know their wide receiver core is also another thing we could talk about of how bad that is. But I think Lad McConkey is a lot better than Keon Coleman. So
yeah. After I mean, do you have us losing or winning in
I'll,
Las
I'll
Vegas?
I'll say I say we beat Vegas right there. So
So I have
Jackson,
us
if you
5-2.
could.
You we're. I think this is the moment we're going to start getting rolling.
When is the last time Baker Mayfield played Mahomes? Because
Um,
I remember that college game of Tech versus
I mean, we
OU.
played the Browns a couple times. I think when he was
Oh
there.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Um,
I never lived up to the hype, but I say we win this game too. It's pretty set in stone for me. So
home against Denver.
dub.
So I have us 6-2. You have us 7-1.
And now we're 8-1
Now we're
because
yep.
the
We're and now
donkeys are
we're
not getting us.
now we're 8-2.
I think the
So
Broncos are terrible, and their team is terrible, and their secondary is terrible, and their coach is Sean Payton.
overrated. I'm gonna say it.
And
Overrated.
I think actually the brightest part of the Broncos team is Bo Nix, and that doesn't exactly mean a lot.
Yeah, if you watched our draft post draft analysis, we're not the biggest fans of Bo Nix.
I
So
think Bo Nix is good, actually. I'm a Bo Nix
uh,
truther here, but I think that Bo Nix needs a lot of help to succeed, and the Broncos don't really have it.
I mean that's fair. Uh, in Buffalo, I think
No, Garrett.
no,
We
we're
take
taking
care
the
of
dub.
business. We take care of
We're
business.
taking the dub,
We take care.
especially with that. Unless they have some crazy addition before the season starts, I don't see their offense uh, troubling our defense at all. And their defense has severely weakened as well. I think we're gonna just. I think we might. I know this is Chiefs fan talking. I think we're gonna blow Buffalo out.
Really, I could see that happening too.
I don't see them
Honestly,
scoring many
their
points.
defense is terrible now. Like it got absolutely dismantled.
Now I
And
can't wait to see a clip of me saying that on Instagram after we have like a 41-42 game and we lose. But
I
um,
mean, also, I think the Bills' veteran safeties leaving, and then us getting a deep threat in Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. I think that Buffalo is in for a special surprise of how it is good to have veteran safeties, and you should not release both of them at the same time.
and for one of the first times in Mahomes' career, back-to-back blowouts, going from Buffalo to Carolina. Carolina, you have no hope. I'm so sorry. Vish, my heart goes out to you, buddy. I know you have a lot of, dude. We got some good players in the draft. No, you will be the worst team in the league again, and there's nothing Panthers fans can do about it.
I think they're going to continue to be bad till they fire their owner. They are on a downward spiral that is unsavable at this point. Some bad decisions. They let Jeremy Chin walk. They got rid of Brian Burns for a hamburger sandwich and a soda on the dollar menu with how little they got for Brian Burns. You have zero cap space allocated to anyone with talent. Why not just pay Brian Burns whatever the hell he wants? Like,
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock to me. I'm like,
like,
what are they really saving cap space for if they're not going to bring anybody in, especially a player that you drafted and played really well for you,
and is
and
your
then you
franchise guy. He's
and
your
you just let him
guy.
go. So I have us going 8-2, up to Carolina. You have us at 9-1.
And I have us losing to Vegas at home again. We
Now
let them
I'm
come
gonna flip
into.
flop, so we're gonna combine here at 9-2, uh, because I have us winning at home against Las Vegas.
I think Vegas needs a little bit more time to get their momentum going again, as they did last year. But I also think too, like, we will have that taste in our mouth if we let them come in and beat us last year really bad on Christmas. But I don't know, man. I just if the Raiders season is either going really bad or really poorly, I think they're going to want to win that game a lot. So that'll be circled on their calendars. I don't know. It just feels like late in the season we might trip up a little bit. Actually, I think we're going to ride high and then trip up a little bit this year, and then have to figure it out. Although Rasheed Rice will be coming back and we'll be getting some.
I just think Mahomes is going to come in with the mindset that they came into our house last year on Christmas and pretty much destroyed us, and I don't think he's going to let that happen again.
That's fair.
And I know you had us losing earlier to LA. I think we're sweeping LA again.
I think we beat LA this time in this position here. I think late in the season this is about to contradict what I just said previously, but late in the season loss with the Vegas Raiders is not going to allow us to trip up again. I think they're gonna go in focused and they're gonna take care of LA.
And we're going to have a little bit of an extended, just because it'll be a Friday game into a Sunday game. So
Oh yeah,
have a little bit
big
extra
time. Now Cleveland is interesting because
we're not losing.
if Jameis Winston or Tyler Huntley is quarterback, then maybe Cleveland can pull it out.
I
But,
don't care who's quarterbacking. We're not losing to Cleveland.
I mean, their defense is really good, but no, I don't see us losing this game either. But I think it's a little bit more of a trap game than people realize. But just
So
wait.
we have us at 11-2 up to this point, I believe.
Yes.
Houston, I think we lose.
Really?
I do.
Okay. Because this is a good game. Now, here's the thing. I think we win this game. I think we beat Houston in a thriller. Maybe it goes to overtime. Who knows? And then we lose next week to Pittsburgh on a 4-day turnaround. We
Which
only
is funny.
have.
I have the reverse of that. I think we lose to Houston in a close game, and then we dominate Pittsburgh. Like it's funny that we're having like kind of mirroring opinions. Just I mean, it makes sense. No matter I mean, it's we're not losing another Christmas game, David.
I mean,
There's no way.
I think we could. Like, we have 4 days in between a very
We're
important
going to lose
game.
to Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh.
No, we'll lose to Justin Fields, Pittsburgh. We'll lose to Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
I mean, we lost to the Raiders when they had nobody. Like, anybody could beat you. It's any given Sunday, but specifically a Wednesday for this game. But like, dude, we play Houston, and then 4 days later we have to play on Christmas. Like, we're gonna be gassed after whatever gunslinging we have for Houston.
Well, we're still somehow even after our predictions. After we flip flop wins and losses at Houston and Pitt. Final game in Denver, Week 18.
I think
I
that
think
this
we'll
might
out.
be. I'm tempted to say a loss because I think we're going to not play our starters.
That's also true. I will say if we don't play our startings, we will lose. I think if we will play our starters, we take a win.
Actually, even if we play our backups, bro, Carson Wentz versus Bo Nix might not be a loss. I think
We're
it's a
taking
win.
the dub regardless,
We're taking
baby.
the dub.
We're going 15-3 on the year, and we will get the first round bye in the playoffs. That is my prediction.
There we go. I also think this is our year to be better. I mean, we're gonna get that first round bye, and we're gonna be. I mean, yeah, you said it yourself. Like, this is gonna be the back-to-back season. I knock on wood. I think we're poised for success. The NFL schedule makers came out and said, I think we gave the Chiefs the hardest schedule. This schedule doesn't scare me. It really doesn't.
No, it's like I mentioned before. We don't have a gauntlet to start, and I think we're gonna cruise after Tampa Bay.
Jackson is pointing out that 15 plus 3 equals 18. And that's what we said. So we're going 14-3.
Yes, of course. I forgot the bye week. 14-3. We're gonna have a great season. We're gonna get the first round bye, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl. So we're gonna three-peat.
You knock on wood right now, Gary.
I will, because this man will lead us there. This man right here.
And is Xavier worthy wherever he is?
You're like, I have a jersey somewhere.
I do. It's on the way. I'm gonna
And
curse. I'm gonna curse
maybe
another receiver of ours.
maybe this man.
I'm gonna curse a fourth receiver or a third receiver of ours by buying their jersey. I have Kadarius Toney, I have Rice, and I have Worthy now. But yeah, I think we're about to wrap up this show here today. Just wanted to go over a quick shout out to CJ Hansen and Jaden Hicks. Guys, we put a lot of work into this content, and we're fans as well. And so it's really cool when we're doing little podcast clips and they go on Instagram and the players themselves like the videos and they see them. So shout out CJ
Yeah,
Hansen.
shout out CJ Hansen. I was loving you up, kind of glazing you in the video, and I think you're gonna do well for us, buddy.
Yeah, and he saw Garrett's video and he liked it, so that's cool. And then Jaden Hicks, he liked the Jaden Hicks analysis. That was the one I did. I got really excited about the possibilities of the Swiss Army knife Jaden Hicks, and he liked that video. So just a quick shout out. We're just here to support these rookies, and we're super excited to see this season play out. And man, there's so many players in this offseason as this continues to go. We're gonna be doing roster predictions. We're gonna be doing sleeper.
We're gonna be doing a lot.
Breakouts.
Once the season breaks out, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of content to go over. And don't forget, links are in the description for the Instagram, the Discord. Get your questions in there. We want to make sure we get the community involved, and we want to know what you guys thinking.
Also, make sure to check out the Spotify if you want to listen to us in the shower or in the car. That's where I listen to my podcast, so I wouldn't even watch it visually. We try to make it so that you guys can listen to it as well. It is somewhat a visual show as well, but go check us out on the Spotify, Apple Podcasts if you're crazy and have that. And yeah, thank you, Jackson, for coming in. I think he's going to be an integral part going forward. Jackson, do you want to say some wise words of departure before you go off?
Yeah, so before getting waived in Week 13 by the Raiders, Marcus Peter only had one interception for 75 yards, but it was a touchdown.
There we go.
But
a plus side, but he's washed, so
he is washed. Thank you, guys.
He just wanted to get his stat out that I made him look up. We sometimes text him and are like, "Hey, can you look up these stats?" And then
anyway, we didn't use it,
and we move on. So yeah, and he's got his stat out there. So Jackson, great job today. Look at us looking at the schedule.
Look at us. We're almost here, man. And high school football starts the summer program next week, and I'm really pumped for that. So we'll talk more about that once we get more into it.
Yeah, we'll talk about Garrett's coaching struggles as his team sucks. I'm kidding.
No, we're going to be great. I trust my boys.
Are you guys going to be good this year?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Team for life, baby.
All right, there you go. I also went to that team, so, I didn't play at all. My brother just graduated from there, though, so,
There we go.
We are absolutely trying to not end the podcast right now.
I know. Guess what? Thank you all for watching. I took his line, and as always, we're just talking shop.
Just talking shop, baby. See you in the next episode. Oh, yeah, we're getting new mics. That's what I was going to say.
Yes, sir.
And new cameras and fixing all this crap.